Hello and welcome to the next lesson in the series Learn to Play the Violin with Me. Tune your violin, make sure you rosin your bow, and let's get started. The 15-minute timer is officially started. We so far know 8 notes, low D to high D, so we know the complete D major scale. As a warm-up, let's play each of those notes 4 times in a row. We'll start with low D, play that 4 times, then we'll go and play E 4 times, F sharp 4 times, G 4 times, all the way up to high D 4 times. Make sure that during this warm-up you're focused on a bunch of different things. Do you have your left hand form correct? Making sure that your wrist is not bent. It's as straight as you can get it while still being in a natural feeling position. Make sure that your right wrist is staying nice and flexible while you're playing the different notes. And make sure that your left fingers are curved and only touching one string at a time. And I'm sure there will be more things as we go on. But let's just start and see what presents itself. Here we go. So warm up. 4 times each note, going nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, play. D, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. F sharp, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. B, 2, 3, 4. C sharp, 2, 3, 4. And D, 2, 3, 4. You may have heard while I was playing, if you could hear what I was doing, that I was accidentally getting the wrong string a couple times, hitting 2 strings at the same time. So I, just like the other lessons, I'm going to continue working on the angle, and I'm going to trust the process that it will correct itself the more that I practice. When we last left off, we were on page 19. We had just finished number 61 in the Essential Elements Violin Book 1. It was called Elevator Up. So now we are going to do number 62 down the D major scale. We're basically doing almost the opposite of what we were just doing for our warm-up. We're playing 3 of each note with a quarter rest on beat 4 of each measure, and we're starting on high D, going all the way down to low D. Now, I did have a question, because remember, I'm learning at the same time that you are, so I don't know everything. So I need to do some light research on my own in various different ways. Google, and also I have a good friend an amazing friend. Thank you, Chris, for your help, because I gave her a call. She teaches strings, and I asked her this question. I said, when there is a quarter rest at the end of a measure, so just like every measure we're playing in number 62, we play 3 notes and then we rest. Do we take our bow off the string, or do we leave it on the string? And she said, whenever you're staying on the same string, you keep it on the string, right? Unless you're resting for like a really long time. So typically you just keep the bow on the string. That might be a little bit difficult as we learn, because you have to stop it like a dead stop at the end of beat 3 on every measure. So you kind of can't come to a trailing stop, because then you'll get like a screeching sound. So that's going to be a really good exercise for us to focus on in number 62. So unless we're changing strings. So for example, going from measure 3 to measure 4, we have going from measure 4 to measure 5, going from open A to G, we are switching strings. When you switch strings, the internet told me that you lift your bow and you adjust the angle to place it over top of the string you're going to play in the air. You do that in the air. You don't do that while your bow is still touching the strings. So the exception is when we move from line 1 to line 2, we will lift the bow on beat 4 so that we can adjust the angle to play on the D string. So music has us thinking of a billion things all at once, and we just have to keep practicing and focus on 1 or 2 of the things at a time. So that's the one thing we're going to focus on this time. We're going to stop during the rest, but we're going to keep our bow on the string, except for when we're changing strings. Let's try number 62, nice and slow. There's no need to go fast. Here is D. D. Let's try it. 62. 1, 2, ready, play. Lift and adjust. All right, so that was a good first try. I forgot I adjusted the bow angle, but then forgot to adjust my left hand so that I was then putting my fingers down on the D string. That's why I had that little hiccup there between measures 4 and 5. Let's actually practice going from measure 4 to measure 5. We're going to play measure 4, open A. Then we're going to play measure 5, the G, since we're switching strings at that point. So it was open A, then on beat 4, we're going to change angles for the bow, and we're going to change position for our left hand too, saying that to myself, and play the G. Let's try measure 4 and 5. 1, 2, ready, play. Lift and change. Rest. All right, let's try that again. I accidentally did a bow lift and went to play a down bow again, but in measure 4, it starts with an up bow. Oh, goodness. Okay, I forgot to look at that. Measure 4, we're starting open A with an up bow, so that means that we're starting here at the tip and going to the frog, so we're starting there. Sorry, my fault. Here we go. Starting on measure 4 with an up bow. 1, 2, ready, play. Lift and change. All right, let's try that again. 1, 2, measure 4. All right, let's try it one more time. I didn't have my third finger up high enough on the string, so it was a little flat to start, but the repetitive notes are good because it gives us time to adjust to get the right notes. Measure 4 and 5 one more time, and then we'll try the whole thing again. 1, 2, up bow, play. Rest. Rest. All right, let's try number 62, the whole thing, starting from measure 1. Here we go. D is. All right, D. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. Remember to keep your bow on the string. Rest. Rest. Lift. Rest. 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 All right. Let's move on to number 63, Scale Simulator. So if you check now, we're starting to change notes and not playing all repetitive notes. So the measure 1 starts with 3 low Ds, but then measure 2 is E, D, E. Measure 3 is 3 F sharps. Measure 4 is G, F sharp, G. So you see that this piece has a pattern to it. Every other measure, measures 1, 3, 5, and 7, all have repeating notes. but measures 2, 4, 6, and 8 have us changing notes. So this book is progressively getting us used to switching between notes at a quicker pace. Let's sight read it and see what happens. There's no repeat sign, so we'll try it one time through and then we'll break it down. Number 63, starting with open D and a down bow. 1, 2, ready, and rest. 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 All right, I kind of laughed there at the middle when I got to open A. I realized that on the D string, at some point, I played one of those notes too sharp, and that made the A sound flat because I was accidentally raising those E, F sharp, and G too much. Even by like little bits, it adds up. So that's why our ear development is getting really good, because for example, on the piano, if you play a C sharp, you press a key and it's C sharp. You don't have to worry about adjusting so that C sharp is the exact pitch it needs to be. Whereas the violin, there are no frets, there's no spaces to tell us exactly where to put our fingers so that the note is exactly in pitch. We have to do that on our own by ear. So things like that are gonna happen. It's a good thing that I heard it, because it means that I'm recognizing that my mistake, so that I can hopefully go back and adjust that. But our ears will just get finer and finer tuned as we move on. Let's try it again, nice and slow, and that's what I'm going to focus on this time, just really trying to make sure that my pitch is correct for every single note so that I can stay in tune the whole time. All right, here we go. Ready? 63. 1, 2, ready, play. D, rest. E, D, E, rest. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest. G, F sharp, G, rest. A, rest. B, rest. C sharp, C sharp, C sharp, rest. D, C sharp, D. All right. Sometimes singing it for me helps because my voice is trained to hit those pitches, so that it's easier for me if I sing along. I'm going to try not to, though. For this next run through, let's try it. If you need to pause it and work on a different section, certain section, until you get it, that's awesome. If not, then let's play it now together. Here we go. I'm going to try not to sing this time and just really listen and make sure that my pitches are in tune. Starting with open D. That's an easy one because we tuned beforehand, so I know that one's in tune at least. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 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 All right. Let's move to number 64, the Essential Elements Quiz, the D major scale. Same 8 notes that we've been playing so far, and this looks like measures 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going up the D major scale by step, which means D, to E to F sharp to G, like 1, then the very next one going up, and then measures 5 through 8 have us coming back down. There are 2 of each note in a row, which is nice. We can adjust our tuning if need be, except if you look at measures 4 and 5, D, high D is at the very top. We play it twice, but then we repeat those, measure 5 going down. So we're actually playing 4 high Ds in a row. Remember that. Okay, here we go. Let's try 64. There are no rests except until the very end, so we don't have to worry about stopping and keeping our bow on the string. So let's try staying in tune. Remember, making sure that the speed and the pressure are creating a smooth sound, making sure that our form on both hands are correct, you know, all the good things. Here we go. Starting with low D, number 64. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. How'd it go? I was starting to slide a little bit, so it could be one of 2 things. Either I wasn't putting enough pressure on for the speed I was going, or I need to rosin my bow a little bit more. All right, that concludes our lesson for today. I can't wait to see you in the next one.